All right, so I thought maybe we would talk about this Soundwave next, but actually I want to follow up on a few things I was saying last time, and we'll see where we get. We're going to talk about the cassettes at least today. So these guys come in classes. They come in about a million different lines, which we'll get into. Maybe I have no idea. We'll get into by which I mean later on. I'm going to say I have no idea what all of the different lines are. But the classes can kind of be used as a gauge for like the size of the figure. These guys are all core class right here. So as you can see, they come, even the core classes in different sizes. It's really a price point. Like these are the smallest and least expensive figures, the core class. So it goes, I believe right now, again, I've already said this video within 30 seconds that I know nothing. It goes core, then deluxe, Voyager, Leader, Commander, and Titan. And there are some others. I've seen Legends class that might not be used in recent lines. And like I've said, like I am just learning about this, and these toys have been coming out for 40 years. And in recent years, every year they put out like several lines. I like, honestly, I don't know. There's like Legacy United. Is Legacy Evolution one of them? There's just plain Legacy. There's the Studio series, which has a bunch of numbers. I don't know what the numbers mean. At first I thought 86 was the year because there's ones that are the movie, but my steel jaw right here just says Transformers the movie. Doesn't say 86, and there's a bunch of numbers. Not all of them look like years. Anyway, not what I wanted to talk about. But it's not necessarily the size. So like Tarn in the back here is a Voyager class, which is like the third one up, but my Shockwave was sold as a Leader class. And the reason that he gets that price point, because it's not the size, it's the price point. And I could say some more things about scale, like, so obviously, like, even though, all right, so like Hot Rod is not on the same scale as these guys, but Transformers scale is weird, right? Some of these guys shift mass, like when Shockwave transforms into a pistol, he shrinks. So, but obviously this Hot Rod, look, you can't even see him compared to Tarn and Shockwave, is not the same scale he's supposed to be. So that's just a smaller model. But Frenzy, this is Rumble. Rumble is the same scale as Soundwave because he can fit inside. Again, scale doesn't really matter. I should be talking about price points and size. So the reason that even though Tarn is a Voyager and Soundwave is not much larger, Soundwave is sold as Leader class because Soundwave comes with 3 cassettes. So these are the 3 guys that come with Soundwave, and yeah, you know, sometimes the class will get an upgrade because of more figures or more crap that comes with it. I also have the Steeljaw here. That's another cassette. Obviously, I've shown him already. And so Rumble and Steeljaw are both sold on their own as core class also, and obviously, you know, these guys are both a lot smaller as core class than this core class Shockwave. Remember how I said he doesn't stand so good? They're all smaller than core class Shockwave, but Rumble and Steeljaw, and there is a Frenzy that is sold separately that you can get as core class. They justify them being core class because they come with stuff. So Steeljaw comes with this dish that I've shown that can be strapped onto Soundwave or on the back of many of the cars and stuff that I have, which is really cool. And Frenzy, Rumble, you know what? In the TV show, it was backwards. There was some confusion. Was Rumble blue or was Frenzy blue? But anyway, he comes with those pounders, which is very cool. I think I had Frenzy, the red and black one, when I was a kid, and I was a tiny bit sad that there was no way for him to transform into the iconic weapon that he always used on the TV show. So that's the classes. I think basically, yeah. And the deluxe ones. Yeah, I kind of wanted to point out that the deluxe class, which is like kind of the main regular sized guys, when these toys originally came out, they came out as they were mini cars, and I think it was just mini cars and cars. It may have been mini cars and deluxe cars, or it may have been mini cars, and now I don't know. But this is a reissue of one of the mini cars. So as you can see, the core class is kind of the same size. This is, of course, classic Bumblebee. I love this. We'll talk about that figure. This is a reissue, which I don't know when but because this is like very, very similar to the original 1984 toy. I don't know. Yeah, they put out a couple reissues. I have the Sky Warp, that is the reissue of the Transformers the movie, which is not Studio Series the movie, which may or may not be Studio Series. Basically, if anyone watching this knows of like a clear wiki or website that outlines what each toy line was, and really I kind of want to know what the numbers on the Studio Series boxes mean. But anyway, yeah, so this is a mini car from the original. This is a core class from the current stuff. And this is a current deluxe class. This is a Lita 1. And so that's about the size a normal deluxe car is. And a Lita 1, there's a little tiny bit. There we go. A Lita 1 can roll around like I was just saying. A lot of the cars have a 5mm port socket right there on the top. So if you got weapons, you can stick them on there. Yeah, so those are some of the core class guys, and so let's take a look at the tapes. Yeah, I wanted to... You're going to hear me talking about the core class. I think it's pretty cool. I think cheap little inexpensive transforming robots is cool. Oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. And also, in a couple of days, I've been waiting a couple of weeks, but I got a set of core class guys coming that I'm gonna have to make a video about as soon as they get here. I'm very excited. If you know, it's the Dino Kings set, which is a cool bunch of guys that have some cool lore with them. I don't know, these legs, they have one side with a large end of the pin and one side with a small. And maybe I'll find out, because it seems like he doesn't always go together totally correctly, or actually he might just be slightly the wrong size for Soundwave. Let's transform him first and then I'll show you. But I'm so excited for these guys to get here and to make a video about this set. And so yeah, see, so sometimes I've got one small pin and one big pin showing, and that's probably not correct. But he doesn't totally snap together into a rectangular form all the time, and I wonder if it's because sometimes I've got his legs backwards. Like, it seems like it's kind of happening now. Oh, look, I've got his head backwards, though. His head could be seen. See this? Yeah, it feels like it's kind of not totally... I don't know. Let's get his head correct. Really good sculpt. Really good looking little head. It really looks like the cartoon. Really good figure. This is like a small core class. Really, really, obviously. And you may have picked up in the last video that I kind of don't even know why I'm so excited about this. I don't really understand why I'm getting so much joy out of this. And we're going to dig into that. It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. There was a point in my life, and let's not get too dark too early, but we will get there, where I really didn't understand what fun was. I did not understand fun. Okay, yeah. He folds up a lot not as well if the small pins are showing. So we'll do it the other way. But and you know what? It had a lot to do with alcohol, and we will talk about that eventually, but it had a lot to do with World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was and it wasn't even, and if you know, World of Warcraft ended up not even being fun. But that was the only thing for many years that I was doing that was recreational. And let's not talk about, I don't even know which is more harmful or which I would like to talk about least, alcohol or World of Warcraft and my relationship with those things. But with a lot of other events going on in my life, I really lost sight of leisure, of fun, of recreation. And a lot of it had to do with this sort of growing up idea of I'm a big American man. I don't play with toys or play video games or watch cartoons, that kind of... And, if you know me, you may be surprised that that kind of attitude affected me, but it did. Looks pretty good. Pretty good little cassette. And we will definitely talk about that. We will definitely talk about that urge to be an adult that doesn't play with toys pretty soon, probably. I want to talk about all these things. And yeah, I feel like I can't quite get him to be totally aligned. And and take a look at this. This is not bad. This is not terrible. This could be worse. Isn't this cool? But the like I said, the steel jaw one does not fit great, and this one doesn't fit totally great. He fits in there. You can close it. As you can see, you see how I was worried about him being kind of not totally straight? Yeah. He fits in there, it's fine. You can close it. Not great, though. I mean, geez, let's try. Oh, man, and look, he popped. Even the Rumble's transformation popped open. Like, I wonder if... Oh, look what I did. How did I do that? I've got one pin big and one pig... Well, that's part of the problem. Okay, wow. Why did nobody tell me that I had done that? But as you can see, like you can see inside Soundwave, that's the mechanism that pops him open. So the thing is that with this guy in it, he's stuffed in there so good that it won't pop open. So he does fit in, but as you can tell by now, it's a struggle. At least the button clicks in. With Steeljaw, it doesn't even click in. So let's take a look at Steeljaw next, because the other two are good. Now, I did hear somebody speculating that perhaps an 86, or not an 86, a Studio Series Transformers the movie Soundwave would be on his way, in which case this would probably fit. They may be a little bit different, and this would fit better because, yeah, the two small animal guys, they have room. They would probably fit just fine in a slightly bigger compartment, and probably Steeljaw would too, which let's take a look at Steeljaw. So when I had this, when I picked this up, I get everything shipped to my mom's house because my mailbox is untrustworthy. So when I got this figure of Steeljaw back to my house, the first thing I did was hold it up against this buzzsaw and compare them. And I was like so excited at first. I was like, oh man, it's definitely going to fit, because I wasn't sure. You never know. There's so many different guys. They've made so many different versions of these tape cassette playing guys. And I was like, that's going to fit. That's the exact same size, but it doesn't. And you know what? It's these two little nubs. Can you see them? I almost have thought about slicing them off with an X-Acto knife. Those two little nubs will not fit in if you put it this way. And if you put it this way, they will just fit into the area where the mechanism engages, if you can see. So when you fit them in there, they both will go into that negative space. And he'll just fit. Now, there is a Transformers the Movie Blaster, which he will fit into, which maybe I'll get. And again, if another Soundwave comes out, I do want to get some blasters because I want to get the auto. I always loved the cassettes. I want to get more cassettes. We're going to talk about what my goals are for this collection eventually. But it kind of, you can force him in. Maybe not even today. Maybe today we can't. Wow, yeah, today we can't force them in. Do I not have the nubbins correctly? Or, oh, you know what? They have to be, yeah. The nubbins also have to be on the back side. And then maybe he can fit. But, oh, the button actually clicked today. Look at that. So, not terrific. But, and you know, it's an Autobot cassette tape. I'm not complaining, but I thought I would mention the way the tapes fit. And the next time we talk, we'll transform Soundwave and do a full review of Soundwave. It's a great... saying that a lot. I'm going to be saying these guys are all great figures. So here's Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw is not sold alone as a core, and neither is Ravage. But, you know, cool little guys. There's, I guess, a Netflix version of that Soundwave that comes with the red one, Laserbeak. So after World of Warcraft, I did discover video games, and I did sort of become more acquainted with the idea of fun, and I did kind of get it, but not really. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people, and I don't really have anything conclusive to say about fun, but we'll get there. Certain people get to a point in their lives where part of it is becoming an adult and becoming more serious about things, but there is a point you can reach where nothing seems fun anymore, and boy, it's not fun to hit that point. Video games this past year, I've had trouble getting the same kind of serotonin, the same kind of joy out of the video games I've been playing, and yeah, like I said, I started noticing that the few Transformers I bought were kind of doing something amazing to my brain. Like, I really was getting... like rediscovering it, learning about the different lines and and classes and the way it all works. This guy has a little bit of a fiddly bit. The legs have to kind of go past these shoulders here, and you kind of have to just kind of get it to happen. I think so. Ravage is not my favorite, which is too bad because I think he's a cat. We had some conversations about whether he was a cat or a dog. But yeah, so this is doing it. So after my video game hobby for 5 years or so, rediscovering video games after World of Warcraft, which destroyed my interest in everything. World of Warcraft is not a video game. I've talked about World of Warcraft already more than I want to ever in this series. But you know, we get hyperfixated on things, I guess is what I'm saying. But fun is kind of a mystery. I do have this idea that, like, why? What purpose does fun serve? Why do we do this? Why do we get obsessed with little plastic toys? Why am I so excited that little plastic toys are coming to my house? It's just fucking cool. So, yeah. Cool, guys. We'll talk about Soundwave next, and we'll talk about having fun playing with toys and some other stuff. Actually, no. Dino King is coming next. Oh boy. This is my current collection. We're going to talk about all these guys and more guys as they come. So do me a favor, give me a like and a subscribe. And yeah, if you want to talk to me, you can find my Discord by going to koeidk.tv, and there will be a link to Discord. And yeah, I'll be back and we'll talk about more Transformers.